that has defined your work. I know you're also curating a show of Joan's, if I'm not mistaken, in Japan.
Yes.
Is that right?
I am.
How does that feel, the curator role?
You know, with Joan, it feels very organic. From the moment we met, we've had a very, I would say, both intense and easy relationship. So curating, working, collaborating with Joan is something that's very fluid for me. And I really, Joan is one of the best drawers.
Of course, I remember that Venice Biennale.
Yeah,
so memorable.
in the world.
Of course.
And I wanted to take her drawings outside of the context of installation and performance, which is where they usually reside, and really treat them almost in a more classical manner, where you're asked to focus on not the kind of totality of the experience, but each individual work's line, color, surface. And so that's what this show in Tokyo will do.
So Adam, I'd love to conclude by bringing this home on the topic of this series. I believe there's a home that you're currently very involved with at the moment, which is a very generous way of creating a future from fragments of the past. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about the home of Nina Simone.
I love that, creating the future from fragments of the past. So I believe it was in about 2016, through Laura Hopman, I got word that Nina Simone's childhood home was on the market for sale. And of course, anyone could buy it, right? It wasn't as though it had to be bought by someone who was going to protect and preserve this historic site. And I had this real kind of urge, like I have to do something. And I first started looking for somebody who was going to, purchase the home and preserve and protect it. So I kept thinking, who is this person? And then I realized, yes, I realized that the person was me.
Right. With little help from my friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I reached out to Rashid Johnson.
Sure.
And I talked to my friend Adrienne Edwards and said, to her, who else do you think might want to be involved in this? And she mentioned Julie Meritou and Ellen Gallagher, and reached out to both of them. So there was a symbolic element to this, for artists joining forces to preserve and protect the home of one of the most important artists, vocalists of the 20th century. So we bought her childhood home, and we ended up forming a partnership with the National Trust and Brent Legs, which was transformative, because that is what they do. They save places. So we have been now for, oh my goodness, it's 10 years, isn't it? Oh my goodness, that's crazy. I just literally realized in this moment, this has been 10 years worth of work. So with the National Trust, the site became designated a national treasure, for one. Yes, that was like the first big milestone. And another big milestone that was also about artists gathering, getting together: Martin Puryear, Cecily Brown, Mary Weatherford, Stanley Whitney, Robert Longo, me, Rashid, Julie. I hope I'm not, Sarah Z. Please forgive me if I'm missing anyone. We did a benefit auction in New York, where these artists so generously gifted works of theirs to raise funds for the house. And Venus Williams gave us some star power. Thank you, Venus. And we raised $5 million to endow the home. And literally, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, I received pictures from the National Trust that the house has been almost completely restored. They're starting landscaping on the grounds. And now, for, at least as long as I'm alive, the place where Nina Simone was born and her literally began to play piano will be preserved and protected.
It's extraordinary to be in this room with the piano behind us, on which Stravinsky and MIDSURFACE played, with these carpets that were rolled up so people could dance in the 20s in an era. And it's actually really remarkable, that idea of thinking about preserving someone's home to build future possibilities. It reminds me of that proverb, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Thank
That's
you
an
so
incredible
much.
manifestation. I'm going to leave you with one question, which I love to ask, because Gabrielle Chanel always wanted to be part of what was next. Je vais être de ce qui va arriver was her motto, in terms of thinking of that avant-garde and really being at the edge and the foreground. What's next for Adam Pendleton?
I'm working on another book.
Oh, you are?
Yes. So I have published a number of books that have been really important to my work and the perception of my work, but also of other artists. One in particular I can name is The Black Dada Reader. And I am writing a book called Black Painting, which will not be about Black painters, but will be about the relationship between painting and the capacious possibility of Blackness as a concept, as an idea, and will include both artists who are with us and artists who are no longer with us across, I would say, about a 100 years span of time, of history.
It's been an honor and a pleasure.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much,
so much,
Anna.
Adam.
Such a pleasure.
Such a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for the latest season of Chanel Connects. Now in our 5th year, there's an incredible archive of episodes to listen to, featuring guests like actor Margaret Qualley, artist Julien Crouzet, and musicians Grimes and G-Dragon. So do make sure to listen in. This is Chanel Connects, available to listen on Spotify, YouTube Music, and Apple Podcasts. Until next time, stay connected.